Welcome to the Building Savages podcast.
New favorite fitness podcast.
I'm your boy Terrence, aka Building Beast.
I'm Evan Perez, aka EP.
On this podcast, we talk to our fellow coaches, athletes, and everyday gym goers about health, fitness, business, entrepreneurship, self growth, and so much more. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe, or
We'll find you and make you smash the subscribe button. Hope you enjoyed today's
What is
topic.
your thought about this myth that cardio kills gains?
I'm glad you said myth because we really got to stop with this, dude.
Bro,
I think that's just such a meathead thing for someone to say.
it is. It's that fat fucker that doesn't want to do cardio. That's like, I just can't because it'll mess up my gains. But yet, like, he breathes heavy when he walks up the stairs.
Exactly.
That dude. That's what it is. Yeah, it's hilarious. Like, I mean, I always thought that way, and I bet like you did too. Because I mean, like when we were early, it was early. We didn't know any better. But like, I was always like, bro, like if I can't walk up the stair, if I have to walk up the stairs and breathe heavy, like I have to do something about this. So like there's so much fucking research right now and it's been debunked a bunch of fucking times. Like I'm not gonna go through the research, plus I don't even have it in front of me. But like there's so much research about like that you can still do both at the same time, but it just depends on your goals. So like what do you think?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, right? But I don't care what your goal is, you can always add some form of aerobic training.
Yes.
Like the big thing that's being highlighted now is zone 2 cardio, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have different zones, and zones is pretty much like your intensity level of activity if you really want to like simplify it. So zone 2 is like excuse me. Zone 2 is working at an intensity that you can have a conversation through, but you can tell someone is still exercising. So it's a very low intense way, and it's really just good for building overall good heart health and just getting you to burn more physical activity during the day, which can lead to just burning more overall calories during your day because now your activity levels have increased. Pretty much what it is. So it's going to be good for metabolism. It's going to be good for burning more fat throughout the day, and it's going to be good for just building your overall aerobic base. Now you can use any form of cardio for this. You can bike, you can run, walk, jog, do a little mixture of both. Some low interval, steady state training. Now people that say like, "Oh, cardio is gonna kill my gains," you typically hear that from people who focus strictly on weightlifting.
Yes.
And what I usually find about these people too is they take like 2 to 3 minute rest periods on things like bicep curls and tricep extensions.
Yeah. Exactly.
So it's like, what are we talking about right now, dude?
It's hilarious, and like I saw Marcus Philly put this up. It's like this is an issue mainly because like if you think about like the CrossFit athletes, they're fucking yoked. Like they're yoked and ripped and they'll fucking condition their ass off and stuff like that. So like there's something going on that you can do both, but it's 100% about your goals. And I think it's a bigger factor about your nutrition that kills your gains or helps you build gains or whatever like that.
And
But
recovery.
and recovery, especially that. But nutrition is a different topic. Like
Yep.
100%, it's more about your goals. If you want to train for a marathon, just know you're gonna struggle to put on muscle because you have to run so much, and weight training is gonna be the second factor. If you want to put on muscle and you're gonna have to up the strength stuff, the weightlifting and everything like that, and maybe downgrade the cardio, but you don't get rid of it. People also don't understand like the value of building your cardio base for your recovery in the middle of your lift. Like you
Building
basically
red blood cells.
yeah, exactly. That's it. Like you have to be able to recover in between your sets, or you're taking these long ass sets and not even giving enough effort. It's like those guys, like you said, that do a couple curls and they're on their phone for 5 minutes and they're wondering why their biceps aren't getting any bigger or they're not getting any better in the gym. Is because you're taking so long of rest time. You're not working on your work capacity. And work capacity, if you can get that shit high, your cardio's up, your conditioning's up, and you're able to do things like super fast and like get in and out of the gym and like fucking have a shit ton of effort, like you're fit as fuck. Like
Break work capacity down to somebody who might not know what that is.
yeah, work capacity is the amount of work in a given amount of time.
Yes.
Basically what it is. So the more work that you can do in a given amount of time, in a short amount of time for the most part, like the more conditioned you are, the more work capacity you have. So basically, like if I were to tell you to squat 135 um, for like sets of 10 or something like that. The amount of rest time depends on how conditioned you are. So like if that's like a 5 out of scale of 10, you should be able to fucking do that in 30 seconds and be able to recover that quickly. But if it's something that's fatiguing, like super fatiguing, you might need a little bit more rest time.
Yeah.
But depending on how much you rest and how fast you're able to do it, shows how capable you are to work at an extended period of time. That's why power lifters like need to take so long because their effort is so high and they need to recover and make sure that effort stays consistent. But a lot of times when your effort is about minimal, like let's say like a 7 or 8 out of a scale of 10, like you don't need 5 minutes. You don't need 3 minutes. You need about like a minute and a half to 2 minutes, and you should be able to get right back into work without losing that much. You shouldn't have that much of a drop down in strength because you're capable of doing the same thing over in a repetitive fashion.
And even with powerlifters, though, I do see like a lot of people just kind of resting way longer than they need to.
Yeah,
I
these
think we just,
motherfuckers. It's
I
always
think over
fun.
like, yeah,
It's
like
always
over the
fun when they
past
bring
like
the
10
chairs.
years.
It's
Wow.
like they like you ever seen those videos where they bring the chairs out and like the recline they do a set of like one or two,
Yeah.
they whip out a fucking chair real quick and then just sit down and just chill down for 5 minutes and then they do another set. It's like that, but
And those are usually where you'll hear the people that say like cardio kills my gains is because it's like I think there's like that subgenre of lifters or just like that special group of lifters. It's just like they're like lazy lifters, if that makes
yeah.
sense.
Mhm.
You know, it's like you do a couple reps and then you just look for the set and then you're at the gym just kind of hanging out, talking, social media, scrolling, whatever, yada yada. And it's just like those people kind of are in the gym for like 2.5 hours and they only did like 5 exercises. Like,
Ridiculous.
what the fuck are we doing here, dude?
Always fun that those are the people that complain the most about not getting results, and then they wonder why. Like they spend 2 hours at the gym, and they're like, "I'm not getting any better." It's because you're spending 2 hours in the gym doing fucking nothing, but your thumbs in your ass. Like you're not really
Yeah.
doing anything.
Probably did a max 32 minutes of work
Exactly.
with like 60 minutes of rest.
Yeah, I think people need to think about it in the capacity of work. Like
Yeah,
an hour in the gym and actually working maybe like 90% of the time is different being an hour in the gym and working 30% of the time.
very different.
You're missing a significant amount of work because you're taking too long of rest, you're not doing enough exercises, you're not putting enough effort. If you're thinking about it in the amount of work and effort, I mean, if you put in a shit ton of work and a shit ton of effort in a limited amount of time, you're gonna see the results. The problem is that some people fuck up the time, they stay too long in the gym, and they don't work enough, and they don't put enough effort, and then you guys are just there, just like for shits and gigs. Like there's a whole science and stuff like that. You just gotta do the work, bro. That's all
Yeah,
it is.
and that's where some people still confuse the mindset of like more time in the gym is a more effective workout.
Yes.
So I'm like, I really don't care if you were in the gym for an hour and a half, if you work for 20 minutes, when maybe I had my person in the gym for 40 minutes and they worked 33 of the minutes. And they just had a couple rest periods, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, or whatever the case is, obviously, depending on what the goal of the workout is as well. But that's what I tell people like, stop judging your workout on the duration because the duration doesn't tell me anything. The duration just tells me how long you existed in that area. I
Yeah,
don't really know what the quality of the time being spent there was. You
exactly.
know,
And the
so from
quality.
the outside looking in, that shit looks like hardcore. But I wanted to go back to the cardio kills your gains thing, and when I was
Mm,
just kind of talking about like the lazy lifter today,
yeah.
bro. Even for like the bodybuilders, like back in the day, Arnold Schwarzenegger used to do sprints on sand. He
Hmm.
used to go to the beach and do sprints.
Yeah.
You know,
Nobody has
like
video
he
of that.
worked hard.
Yeah. Hmm.
And even when you look at a bodybuilder in prep, they do shit tons of cardio.
Yeah.
You know, like that's the name of the game, and they're doing that to lean out when they start to get ready for stage prep.
Yeah.
Um, it's not like it's gonna kill your gains. All it is it's gonna aid into recovery, aerobic capacity, work capacity, and just making sure you have all general heart health. You know, you don't as important as being a lifter is, and as important as strength building and muscle building is. You got to have a strong heart foundation, dude. It is what it is, and we got to make sure that, especially as we age, that we continue to do things for our aerobic system.
Yeah, and we talk about it all the time, and I think that's like another like little thing that we keep bringing up this year is being fit forever. Like if you have a weak cardiovascular base, like you're gonna have issues doing things that you want to do, like run after your kids, go for a hike, like randomly do things. Like if you want to be fit forever, you got to be able to have the capacity to do things for extended period of time and a long duration. You know what I mean? Like if you have issues with running a mile, and like I know people have knee pain and all this stuff. I'm just giving a general assumption. If you have problems like walking or running a mile and like breaking a sweat and you have to take breaks, like there is something going on. Like a mile is not that hard that you should be having an issue with it. So I'm not saying like go today and go run a mile as fast as you can. Like there needs to be a certain base of conditioning that you need to have to live a strong and successful and like strong life. Yeah, me in general. So yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm a firm believer that cardio does not give gains. There are science behind it. You can be fit, you can be strong, you can build muscle and still have a good cardio base. Even if it's like just taking it from me, like I strength train 3 times a week and I probably do cardio 2 times a week. And I mean, I'm probably in the best shape of my life. And again, I'm not here not having a fucking six pack and looking like a god, but I think like I'm able if you told me to go run right now, I'll go run right now. If you told me to go squat a fucking house, I'll go squat a fucking house. Like these things you're capable of doing both, and this hybrid athlete thing is just being fit. Like
Save that for another topic, buddy.
yeah, that's a different topic.
that's
Topic.
that's a whole
But I'm
nother
bringing that
topic we'll
shit up
get
because it's bullshit, and we'll talk
into.
about it. It's bullshit. But yeah,
Yeah, man.
uh,
If you think cardio kills your gains, then you're just killing your health. Do your
exactly.
cardio. Now,
Yeah,
depending on what your goal is, you might need to emphasize cardio a little bit more. Don't use cardio as a fat burning tool. That's definitely what you don't want to use cardio for. That's where your nutrition is going to come in, and your daily activity and your weekly activity and the structure that you set for it. You always want to use these things as an aid in the system.
exactly.
Lifting weights is gonna help burn and get you that body recomposition that you're looking for. Cardio is gonna aid in that, and nutrition is gonna lead in that. That's the
Yeah,
main thing that we want to realize here. But we don't
yeah,
look at strength training or cardio either or as the god of burning fat. So don't use these things for that.
yeah.
But you
I
do
think
want
yeah,
your cardio to build up your aerobic capacity and to build up your heart health.
yeah. Yeah, people need to stop like separating them, and I think that's also what you kind of said is like cardio is just not for fat loss. It's just not for fat loss. And strength training is just not for building muscle. They
Hmm.
both work in unison on top of working on your nutrition. If you have all three of these in line and not even talking about recovery, that's a fucking different topic. Like if you have all three of these in line, like you will be the fittest version of yourself. You will see results. So don't just do one. You have to do all three. And I know it's a lot of work, but if you prioritize all these things in a structure that's like really works for you, especially in your schedule if you're a busy parent and shit like that, it's important. I think it's going to be very helpful for you guys. So yeah, don't skip your conditioning, don't skip your cardio, regardless of whatever your goal is. But you may have to do more depending on whatever your goal is, and that's just different for everybody else.
Yep, cardio doesn't kill your gains; it aids your gains.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's the way to end it. Other than yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
Make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Catch us on the Building Savages podcast website. We have all of our episodes up there. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend and keep the words going.
Yeah, man. We're here every fucking Monday and Thursday, whenever the fuck we drop. We haven't figured that out yet, but we're here.
Yes,
Back. We back in 2024. We appreciate everybody.
sir.